What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is the Flow Show for the Love of Wrestling. We are your hosts, Quincy Jones Go. We got Brian Andrews here, and also the American Dream, the Paul Heyman of hip hop. That is Young Baca. What's going on, guys?
Yeah, that's why you say nicknames, because then people start believing it. I've been telling everybody for the last 2 weeks that I'm rich, and people have been looking at me different. It's awesome, man. I'm telling you, it's all about how you market yourself.
It's the power of believing. You know what I mean?
It's 100%.
So we can break the fourth wall, just so my fans can know. My internet's holding up like the NXT title right now. Like it's like there's.
It's up in the air. We don't know.
We don't know what's gonna happen.
we're gonna monitor it, and then then take action as it happens. But the urban chief has spoken. See, I'm trying to coin that for you.
Urban chief.
Yeah.
Hey, I almost got to wreck everyone and leave face mask, but I figured it might send the wrong message if I'm at work. But you know what? We'll go right into it, because obviously this week we had the WWE Draft, and Brian Andrews hit us up like Monday? I think Monday night. He's like, we definitely got to get together. I have a hot take on this draft, so I'm gonna give you the floor, sir. I'm gonna give you the floor.
Okay. It sucked. It was terrible.
Well, I give it this. We were talking about it like that Friday, saying I hope it's not going to be like last year. It wasn't, with the robot and the fake boardrooms. We did get Stephanie McMahon actually being the actual face to call out these names, but they basically just switched storylines, didn't they? I don't
think they did. It feels like everybody stayed on the brand except for some C-list wrestlers.
Steph
except for the Fiend, of course.
Well, Seth Rollins went to SmackDown, but then freaking Rey Mysterio, his family, and Murphy all followed him to SmackDown too.
So I said what I said.
I'm sure if you're watching our show, you also watch other wrestling shows, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hope not. I'm not going to beat a dead horse, because I know everyone's like talking shit about like the Sami Zayn pick and like
him being
picked after Titus O'Neil and stuff like that.
Dude, the fact that Titus O'Neil got a pick and Andrade went undrafted was ridiculous.
Right.
But Andrade's getting surgery.
Is that true?
Okay, I'm sorry about that. Who cares? Like in kayfabe, I thought
Titus
O'Neil.
I thought he was going back to NXT.
Yeah, Titus. That's crazy that Titus O'Neil got drafted. Man.
So
I go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna make this point where it's like, moving forward, there has to be stakes involved. There has to be that these picks mean something. Like, in my opinion, they should start when you get drafted. You sign a kayfabe deal with that brand for as many years as you agree to. And then when your contract's up, that's when you're part of the draft the following year. And then every once in a while they sprinkle in NXT guys, and then leading up to the draft, you can negotiate like, hey, I want to extend you, and then you're like, no, I'd rather be part of the draft than be extended to this brand, et cetera, et cetera. And then the draft night should all be about trades more so than the draft, in my opinion.
Yeah, because I was thinking that same thing. It's like, there's draft picks, but it's not really, like, you know what I mean? Like, in this case, in this day and age, it feels more like, okay, who could we get to move the needle against Raw? But I'm like, you guys are no longer competing against each other. You guys are competing against AEW now. So it's like that whole kind of fictitious, like, war between shows. It's kind of ran its course. But I like your idea because of the fact that it means that not everyone's up for grabs every single time they do a draft, which is once to twice a year probably. And it kind of I think it makes things interesting where you're able to move more of the chess pieces on the board, as far as adding more like obviously like certain people like Roman Reigns, if they were to do that, guys like Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre, the respective like champions, they wouldn't be moving anywhere for a few years. But you can move pieces over to your show to bring new competition, new faces for that guy, right? So I think they need to focus more on that rather than, okay, you know what, you guys had your turn with them, now it's our turn to have, you know what I mean? That's just what it felt like this time out. Like, they just traded people to opposite shows, so people who don't necessarily watch Raw but watch SmackDown can now figure out, why is Aleister Black running around looking like Snake from Metal Gear Solid? I don't know. I don't watch Raw. You know what I mean? But now it's their chance to figure out why. It's just really weird that, like I said, it just felt like they just flip teams. You know what I mean? It's like they played a basketball game and then they just switch sides. That's literally what.
I'm a big fan of Brian Andrews' story writing, character development, race relations. but that's the worst take you've ever had. The fact that you're going to have two guys signed to a brand for 3 years, they're going to be people with the same people over and over again, and that's the biggest issue that people have.
Well, let me put in perspective for you like this, though. That's basically what they do anyways. It's just now you're putting logic behind it. And you could also make the case, like, let's just say Roman Reigns signs a 2-year deal. When his 2 years is up, SmackDown, he could be like trying to negotiate with Roman Reigns, saying like, "Hey, the draft's coming up. We would like to extend you for another year or so." And then Roman Reigns
so what
say,
you don't want to draft at all. You don't want to draft at all. You just want people to be signed to draft.
Let me finish. And Roman Reigns could be like, "No, I'd rather be part of the draft."
I'm talking Mr. Vice President.
Let me. And then it's like they can say like, you know what, we're going to trade you now, Roman, to Raw, so we don't get nothing out of the deal, and then we're going to bring a couple people back because it seems like you're going to get drafted to the Raw anyway. So instead of losing you for nothing, we'd rather trade you before the draft.
Yeah, because he can get signed to Raw for them for nothing in return from But if they trade him and they can get a couple guys for him, I could see that.
Because like for example,
the draft is great how it is. They fumbled it a little bit.
But I think it's like and you need two public figures part of the brands, even if they're not general managers. Public figures.
I felt like even if it wasn't like, oh, this person represents Raw, this person represents SmackDown, unless Steph was good, but if say like Adam Pearce was out there too, that wouldn't have been or they could have even had Daniel Bryan out there since he's not even really in a wrestling capacity right now, even though he got freaking drafted. But
Daniel Bryan's coming back tonight, man.
Well, and technically speaking, you could throw out the case that Shane is
WWE
more part of Raw than the other people, so you could say Shane represents Raw because he does Raw Underground or whatever.
Well,
and then Adam Pearce does SmackDown, right? Yeah,
yeah. Which is crazy.
I guess
that was the only thing that made me mad about the draft is how they had like, from Raw Underground, like it was his own division, and they were like Baca Kwency and R2 Arua. I was like, dude, we haven't seen these guys, like they killed this, so like I guess it's the only way they can keep them on the show. But it was like, so NXT doesn't get a nod, but then like all of a sudden Raw Underground has like their own squad of guys.
And I understand they're trying to get a ratings pop, but this should really be, and let me know if the noise outside is too much. This should be a
protest going on outside.
This should be a network special. Like they should put this on. They should put this on a Saturday. Let it go 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours. You're doing draft picks. You could hold some feuds over. Even it could be like the last night of these Raw and SmackDown feuds before they switch their brands too, before they do Hell in a Cell in a couple weeks or whatever. Instead of, because my biggest fear with the draft, which this year I gotta admit they did a decent job, is Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre, for example. They didn't draft one of those guys at SmackDown, so we know which one's like gonna win or lose that match.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's how they kind of messed up the Hell in a Cell match with The Fiend and Seth Rollins last year, because I think The Fiend got drafted to SmackDown right before that match.
So it's like, okay, but what's possible here? But then he actually ended up bringing the Universal title to SmackDown, which is why it turned to blue.
Like 3 weeks later.
Yeah. He had his whole face thing, and then that whole.
I just feel like there has to be stakes. Like it has to matter that these people, like when everyone's available, then it has to make sense still. Like you want the Intercontinental title on your show. You want all the titles on your show.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. Yeah, it makes more sense especially because you're like, well, obviously those championships are going to be the reason why we get viewership, because people are going to want to see these championships get defended and all that. But yeah, you're right. It feels more like they're like, okay, who can we get the pop as far as like more than who's going to actually build our show. You know what I mean? Well, what's going to make the show actually better?
Right.
The hot take of my own, like, and this is probably not going to be like favorable, but I would even like, just on the heels of you saying it should be a network exclusive, I would even opt it where it actually is almost, not identical to like an NBA draft, but have all the guys in the building. If they want to cut promos for, when they get drafted. I mean, because that was one of the things I did, that one of the aspects I loved when they used to do it before, like when Undertaker, he got drafted to SmackDown and he was like pissed off. He's like throwing shit. You got the Dudley Boys being like split up and stuff like that. But the fact that you had all the boys in one room huddled up, building that energy that, anything could happen. It's unpredictable. Do you know where you're going? No, I don't know where I'm going. Like, I kind of miss, like, I like that part of it because it makes it feel real. I wouldn't necessarily build wrestling around it. I'd even make it just his own event. Like, I mean, I think people would still watch it. I mean, they'll watch the Hall of Fame, ceremony like nothing. They've had other stuff like that before, but
I've never watched one Hall of Fame. I've never watched one Hall of Fame ceremony in my life.
I've watched Hall of Fames for sure.
No, I've watched 3. One with Sean, obviously. I can't remember the one before that one. It may have been. I can't remember that one. I think it was the one with Scott Hall, obviously.
I think I watched The Rock when that happens.
I had to watch the one where I mean, it sounds bad, but I wanted to watch what happened with Bret Hart. So yeah, I watched that one because I was because remember Bret Hart was presenting for was it the who was he presenting for?
Yeah.
It wasn't for Owen.
It was the British Bulldog.
No, because British Bulldog was supposed to be presented this year. No, it was the Hart Foundation with him and Jim. That's what it was because Jim already passed away, and like they made it where it was only just them two, and he was presenting, and then two, like I think one or two dudes, like no, I think it was just one guy, like jumped the ring and started trying to beat up on Brett, and then like freaking FTR just stormed the ring and like freaking beat that dude's ass. It was
So what do you like about the draft, Baca?
He didn't like anything. He said it was whack.
I think that
he liked that her business got drafted as a whole.
Yeah. No, there's a few things I have to say. One, you just said that you want commissioners, and if we had commissioners, you would complain. Quincy just said that he wants all the boys in the room. If everybody was in the room, WWE would get slammed for coronavirus, stuff like that.
No, yeah,
they could be in the same building. They don't have to be in the same room.
I'm just saying, my biggest thing and my biggest frustration with wrestling community, internet wrestling community, is you guys
they're waiting.
Are never happy.
Yeah, they're waiting.
You want
for
no commissioners, now you want commissioners, and now it wasn't shooken up enough. Now it's shooken up too much.
Well,
you guys are never happy.
A commissioner is different, though. A commissioner is different. Like a William Regal is a commissioner, but like general managers, I think, is what more people don't want to see. You know what I mean? People that are like they're playing.
Come on,
instead of being fair,
really splitting hairs. If you say no, I don't want a general manager. I want a commissioner.
It's a difference. No, because it's different. Because William Regal doesn't play a character; he plays a fair guy. That he's the one that you have to go to get shit like actually ironed out. But when you got Stephanie McMahon, who has a obvious bias and she's playing a character and she's power hungry, that's what people don't want to see. You know what I mean? Shane McMahon turning heel. And he's over here, putting Kevin Owens through hell. People don't want to see that. But
that's what happens in real life, right? People become.
William Regal shows up, makes a takeover match.
So what you guys would like, you guys would like NXT, but you guys would like to be able to use Seth Rollins and those people in NXT as well, right? You guys just want NXT on the bigger level. That's all you guys talk about, man. It's ridiculous.
First, don't put us in a box.
You guys, listen.
You said you were splitting hairs, and I showed you what hairs I was splitting. That's all it was.
And I'm just saying, it's really just people are never happy, man. I feel like the draft didn't matter. I feel like nothing changed at all, except for some C-list wrestlers. I hear you. I understand. But now you're saying you want to lock Roman Reigns up for 3 years. If somebody came on air and said, hey, Roman Reigns at SmackDown for 3 years, but it's wrestling. It's not realistic.
Well,
it's not realistic. It's not.
Well, hold on. If you want the brand change to matter, then what's the point if they could just – Kevin Owens has changed brands every year. Miz has changed brands every year. Who gives a shit?
The brand change doesn't matter because every single month, people float over all the time.
Well,
all of a sudden, Mandy Rose is on Monday Night Raw.
That's part of the problem too, though.
Because you have to try to segregate it because you have so many wrestlers.
Why you have to say segregate, bro? It's always back to the race.
It's always about race with you, man.
You have to segregate it because you have so many wrestlers. If Roman Reigns was on Monday and Friday, you guys would burn down this whole planet. You guys would be so upset.
Let me ask you this, Baca. Let me ask you this seriously. We've seen the
hold on, Quincy. You're saying it's a bad thing that WWE signs all the wrestlers?
I'm saying that's also a fault of theirs because look, they have all these wrestlers, good business move, but they got a bunch of guys, and to your point, they gotta migrate them this way or that way because they're not doing nothing. They have so much guys, they don't have enough to do with these guys on a weekend.
I agree on that as well. I don't know why some people need so much airtime when you have so many good wrestlers in the back that you could delegate that time to.
I mean, everyone has a place, and they had more or less, despite whatever you think your spot is, if they delegate a spot to you, that's what it is. And if you play a part for the show, I agree with you there. But yeah, I just think that they've got. But it
is a shrewd business move to sign all the wrestlers. I would love to sign all the rappers in LA so nobody else could use them, and I would gain a monopoly,
100%. Let me ask you this, and I want you to give me an honest answer.
Okay.
The drafts have been done better before, though, right? And it's by the same company.
100%.
So why don't they just take a couple tricks from their own playbook and just make it better?
Well, yeah, go with.
I felt it was lazy because all the big names stayed on the same brand except for Seth Rollins and The Fiend, and then Seth Rollins. But pretty much what they're saying is they're going to move the Mysterio storyline over to SmackDown.
Yeah,
I agree. It was lazy, but but again, it's not real. You guys want a more realistic take. It's not real. It's wrestling.
Well, let me ask you this real quick.
Well, certain aspects have to still feel kind of real. You know what I mean?
Listen, I understand. But if you're saying that Roman Reigns has to stay on SmackDown for 3 years,
I'm not saying 3 years. I'm saying
2 years. Okay, apology accepted. 2 years.
No, but
he's going to be there anyways. He's going to be there anyways.
Yeah,
that's Brian's point. My point was.
But listen, you're upset that he's going to stay on SmackDown for 2 years, but then you're going to be upset if he goes back and forth every other year. My thing is that the wrestling community, internet wrestling community, is never.
Don't lump us in.
Contracts.
I don't want to lump you guys in because I know both of you guys have sex, so that's different.
I'm trying with the neck beard here, and I haven't been having no shit. All right, so all I'm saying is, in regards to what you said about my idea with the boys in the room, yeah, obviously in this time and temperature, no, the COVID thing, yeah, that would totally be a horrible idea. But I'm saying, like, minus that, if this was a regular year.
But if AEW did it, then it would be a great idea.
No, hell no.
Doing what they have to do, put in the health at risk just to give you guys a good.
All I'm saying
is whatever AEW does is amazing.
No, that's not true.
That's what it boils down to.
You're the biggest AEW fan out of all of us.
This guy has the most AEW shirts more than most of us.
I'm just saying it's frustrating because it's never happy. I think wrestling's been amazing the last month. I think it's been amazing. Roman Reigns, the whole business, I think it's been
60-40.
awesome.
60-40.
I think it's way bigger than that. I'll take 60-40 if you have 10 hours of wrestling.
All of wrestling?
No, but I'll take 75% good wrestling if you have 10 hours of wrestling on air. I think wrestling's been amazing lately. I'm so happy.
This is my take real quick. Hold on. We already knew where Drew was going to be. We kind of knew where Roman was going to be. If anything, they were just going to switch, right? If they were going to move him. Yeah. So what's the point of that, right? My point is, if you took an up-and-coming star and made them the #1 overall pick because all the other guys were already
that would be stupid. You want to be realistic. That's not a realistic thing to do. Why wouldn't you take the champion? Why wouldn't you take the guy that
I'm saying that the champions are already on the brand. They're not in the draft pool because they're already there.
And I think last week we thought that was the case too, because I remember asking you guys if the champions were even like eligible, and I think we thought they were all exclusive to the shows, but I mean,
I'm sorry. So Sami Zayn's on Monday Night, right?
No, he's on SmackDown.
Oh, he's on SmackDown. I'm sorry.
I mean, I don't know why people would be mad about that. I mean, he doesn't have to be wrestling Jeff Hardy and AJ Styles anymore because they both moved to Raw.
So, but the amount of wrestlers that were picked above Sami Zayn, and I get if you don't like Sami Zayn, that's one thing, but he had the IC title.
He has an IC title.
So if you're getting the title with him, he should be at least a top second round pick on either draft pool.
Yeah, they just barely go championship.
Yeah. So my take was, let's just take the excess fat of all these big stars. Like, if the Hurt Business is part of the draft, that's cool. Like, imagine the #1 overall pick is the Hurt Business. You know, that's a game changer because you're bringing 4 quality wrestlers to your brand.
One of them a title holder too.
My take is,
what you can say is the titles, the champions aren't up for draft, but that's still saying.
Like you're wasting 20 minutes by drafting You're wasting 20 minutes by drafting Roman Reigns.
If you had a #1 draft, if Vince McMahon calls right now, says, I've seen your work on the flow. I love it. I love the controversy. I love how you think black people are second rate. I want you to be in charge of SmackDown. Who do you pick with the first pick?
It's news.
Well, if everyone's available, it's Roman Reigns.
Okay, so then,
but I'm saying that these people shouldn't be available. They should already be part of the brand. Like shouldn't.
Which people shouldn't be available? Like
all these superstars, all these people who get signed in other sports, they sign long-term contracts, right? So don't you want to lock down your best wrestlers to a longer than 1 year deal?
No, so wrestling. It's great. I love the draft. Well, I feel like they pumped it this year, but usually I do love it.
One thing that I would love is if maybe they were locked down for maybe a year, so we don't have to see him switch shows twice.
That's exactly what they're doing. This is 1 year.
Well, he was saying a couple. No, they do it like once or twice. Because they do it with the.
They do it once a year.
No. They do the Superstar Shakeup after WrestleMania, and then they do the draft. So that's 2.
Okay. All right. You know more than me. You really do know more than me about wrestling. So
that only those 2.
On you for that. You say it's twice. Okay. Once a year, I have no problem with that.
Because back to your example about Kevin Owens, I would like to see him flourish in a company and mean something, or on a show and be a mainstay on a show.
So who do you take out of the championship picture if you put Kevin Owens? Because I think you're not going to take Randy Keith Orton out because he's been doing the best work out of everyone in wrestling. I wouldn't mind. I think those 2 would have a good program, to be honest.
Well, Randy Orton's been in the
so, but that's just the mid card. It's not for championship.
It's about time he moves on anyway. So let's put somebody else there.
I don't know. I love Randy Keith Orton. What's going to happen?
I feel like you're so scared that wrestling's going to suck that you just want things to stay the same.
I just leave it. Don't move. Don't move. Okay, don't move. We got a couple good months on our belt. Let's not blow it.
But see, this is the thing. See, and then this is where the same guys that you're talking about in their basements not having sex, they would get at you talking about. But Baca, where are the new stars that WWE's making? Why are we relying on the old stars of Randall Keith? What are there? Because again, Randall Keith Orton. You're scared of losing him. John Cena's off the market, bro. He got married.
Obviously.
Visible, so he's
shout out to Cena. He didn't call me. I'd at least got a text or something. An hour before. Hey, can you make it to Tampa in an hour? I say, dude, I'm in California. All right, next time.
Even if you took my idea of not signing these wrestlers full on, there has to be a way to make the draft stakes more meaningful. And
as far as being more careful with the picks, right? Yeah,
right.
But the way
why not draft New Day together? I understand
because they're trying to get Big E a big push.
See, that's the logic, internet fan stuff though, but not kayfabe. Kayfabe, it does not make sense.
Yeah,
and that's why there's logicals.
Yeah.
Why not draft someone together so you're not wasting another pick on them?
But by the way, how'd you guys?
You make the stakes matter by not allowing them to cross over. Like Braun Strowman shouldn't just give a show to Monday Night Raw.
Well, that was weird. Well, I mean, but
I want a match.
I mean, did he really drive up there, or did he just drive up to the same place they film on Fridays? You know what I mean?
In my opinion, the NFL and NBA draft happened so you could fill holes that you lost from losing stars and stuff like that. The WWE draft should be something similar. Is that you're filling up your mid card, your upper mid card, your low card stuff. I mean, because your main event is somewhat already established.
Especially now the tag, because dude, there's a lot of tag teams that are on the shelf right now, dude. Both Vikings.
I got them going to unify the belt when New Day.
I was hoping, bro, because I was gonna bring that up. That's what I was hoping. And then how do you guys feel knowing that Street Profits just traded belts and became the first Triple Crown tag team champions?
I'm not gonna lie to you, it made the most sense that WWE's ever made in a long time.
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense.
I was laughing because I was like, and just like that, Triple Crown champions, boom. And I was like,
well, it makes sense though if you say, hey, you guys on SmackDown, you guys on Raw, let's switch belts now.
Is there gonna be it does make sense. Is there a Wikipedia asterisk next to it? Just switch belts one show?
Bro, I mean, as much as it was just funny to me because I was like, oh, they're really just gonna. I thought maybe that they would just. I was hoping they would unify them.
I was hoping they would unify them.
There's not enough wrestlers for a trios title, but I think one branch have trios, the other one should have tag.
I mean, that just belongs to the Lucha House Party, right? And they defended on 205, and that's it. That's
right.
No, the House Party split up now. Kalisto's on SmackDown.
Oh yeah. Oh well, I don't know. Yeah,
how am I supposed to know that? Do I go on WWE.com?
No, you gotta watch. You gotta watch Talking Smack on Saturday mornings. Apparently, is what this. That's how you get the announcements. But yeah, it was shout out to Street Profits because they're officially the first African American tag team to win all 3 belts.
And the Evolve belt.
Yeah, and the Evolve belt as well. So that's good for them. I think they're only the second, I think, Triple Crown though. I can't remember who the first was.
I was really hoping though for a New Day Street Profits feud, but when the New Day did get drafted,
I was thinking the same thing. If not, I was thinking it's too easy to be like Her Business versus New Day, and then have them try to court they're gonna try to divide and conquer and try to lure Xavier over there, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? And
he's better talking to MVP, and MVP's a good talker, so
that's why I was thinking, and then but also interesting is Naomi came to Raw, and I'm like, yo, maybe she might be into Her Business. That'd be kind of cool.
That'd be dope.
I find that super weird though. Wait, does that mean which is who she married to? Is it Jimmy?
She's married to Jimmy, yeah. He's the one that.
Yeah, but they're still in the same place for the next 4 months. Who cares?
Oh, but see, this is what I'm talking about. She's just going to switch back to SmackDown in 4 months.
No. I'm saying they're not. Everyone's going to be wrestling at the Thunderdome.
Well, WrestleMania coming up. We got to bring her into the fold somehow before it's The Rock, man. You know what I mean? The Rock. We've been writing this stuff. All right, we need her. We need Nia Jax, Rikishi, in the path of the Tribal Chief. But I mean, they got, I don't know. Bianca Belair went to SmackDown with the Street Profits, which I thought was pretty funny because I was like, that okay. So they just switched her and Naomi real quick. that is the face. That is the face.
Oh, that's funny.
I mean,
yeah. I mean,
Can I ask you guys, why is it a big deal that, I mean, I know they were, I don't even think that they're technically broken up, bro. Like, I don't really.
Well, they're on different brands, you know. They're on different brands, they're not going to be together. But you're saying realistically, they're still in the same building, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they're never going to see each other, right? You know, I know they're on 2 different shows, but it's like at the same time, you know, when the Deli Boys got split up, it was him and Spike on one show, and then it was just, you know, as long as, you know, Big E doesn't turn into Reverend Devon or Yvonne, I guess, that's great.
So what I read, what I was texted, what somebody called me and gave me the lowdown was that Big E's going to get a big singles push, and they wanted to separate him to get him out of that comedic role and make him more of a serious athlete going for the championship, the heavyweight championship.
Well, this might be a way to kind of.
Which I'm down with, dude. I think a serious Big E's dope, man. That street fight he had with Sheamus, who's another guy who cares where he's at.
That was a good match they had, actually.
Amazing. I think it was amazing.
This is a way to break him up.
Like I said, I think SmackDown was great without breaking him up.
SmackDown's been
without somebody going here, this is how you break him up. Exactly.
Yeah, SmackDown's been doing really good. I'll give him that. But
I just don't think the kayfabe's there. Like, it should have been SmackDown chose Big E and then Raw chose the tag team.
Well, they made a backdoor deal.
That kind of makes sense.
It happens all the time in NBA. Like in the bubble, wait 2 years when in the bubble in 2 years, all these super teams going to come together, and they're going to say, "Where'd you guys start coming up with this? We won the bubble talking." You saw that? I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a video of Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving talking at an All-Star game 3 years ago, and Kevin Durant admitted that's where we decided that we were going to play together next time we had a chance.
I mean, is it illegal?
It's not illegal if it's 2 basketball players talking to each other. But if I'm the general manager of the Lakers and I tell Kevin Durant, "Hey, we want to get you in 4 years and we'll team you up with that guy," that's illegal. Like, so, but in wrestling kayfabe, in my mind, I've decided it's not illegal. So, well, there you go. That's the answer.
Okay.
But it's wrestling.
So,
we have to remember that wrestling is fake. Wrestling is kayfabe.
Excuse me.
But that's the best part. If it's fake, then you can control the narrative, and that's what
it is. Because if realistically, if I'm in charge of Monday Night Raw, I would draft New Day together just so I would have somebody that brings in a bunch of merch, 3 great competitors. By kayfabe, they just want Xavier Woods and what the hell's wrong? And Kingston. Kofi Kingston. And then SmackDown takes Big E, and then maybe Big E uses this as a chip on the shoulder. But it is kayfabe. That's why you're able to do something like that. Because realistically, they were just
want me, man?
What'd you say?
Why didn't Raw want me, man?
I ain't want me, man.
Well, you guys seen actually, I didn't hear that Andrade was getting surgery because I saw he was teasing going back to the NXT. You guys see that?
It was minor elective surgery though, so I wouldn't even be surprised if he's back on Monday night. Like Angel Garza apparently is a Superman and came back. So
bro, like they said he was gonna be gone for like a month, and he came back maybe like he like John Cena that shit. You should be happy, Baca.
He came back like a week and a half later when he was supposed to be out for like 6 weeks.
That shit was crazy. The other thing, I mean, I was gonna say, I don't know if you guys saw the tweet where he just said thank you, and then he deleted it, and then all of a sudden he posted a picture of him and Zelina with the NXT title.
And then Charlotte then said something, so now everyone thinks there's gonna be a Charlotte Andrade action.
I hate the fact that Charlotte first.
Dude, you love it.
You know what though? If it gives Andrade the rub, I'm okay with it. Like if Charlotte's gonna be on TV,
I'm sure he's getting more than the rub from Charlotte, but I'm talking about wrestling.
He's getting.
I don't like it at all. Yeah.
You know.
Is Ric Flair taller than Andrade?
I think he is. I saw a picture of them all together, and it looked like Ric Flair was maybe 1 or 2 inches taller.
But I think Ric Flair probably he's like hunched over at this point, right?
And I'm sure he shrunk a little bit. I was reading an article that Hulk Hogan he shrinked 4 inches because of all his
I was gonna mention that.
Together. It's crazy. Imagine being 4 inches shorter than what you were. Oh, that was awesome.
We gotta give Baca Kofi Kingston.
So I'm all for the Mexican wrestlers getting a push, man, but everybody can't get pushed. That's the biggest thing. But he should have been drafted. I agree. But if he's injured, then he's not eligible to be drafted.
But Angel didn't Angel get drafted and he just came back. I don't know, man.
But he just came back.
I feel bad because Andrade he's definitely
was it one of you guys? Was it one of you guys or Doc who sent us the picture of the guy looking through the binoculars or something like that, and the deer is right next to him, and that's
that was Doc.
Oh yeah,
Cheeto star.
Vince Andrade's superstar. Andrade standing right there next to him.
Yeah. It's like,
but hey, is he? He's not Eddie Guerrero. We could all agree on that, right?
But that's the thing, is like he needs to stop looking for the next Eddie Guerrero. And I'm not saying because it's harder. There's not going to be another Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah.
But to look for those attributes or those qualities in someone as far as being charismatic and someone they could put a belt on and carry company, that's not bad to look at. But to be like, oh, he's not that close to Eddie. I don't think it's that serious, but
it's a little racist too,
it's
right?
Vince, right? Well, yeah, it's like, I mean, dude, it's I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like Andrade, when I figured out who he was and I did the background check on him as far as like being in La Sombra and the shit that he can do aside from not even doing on TV, how much work he's put in, shit from Japan, shit from Mexico. And then you see how they built him up in NXT. You went from kind of the goofy hat with the feather and the suspenders, and then he finally.
I hated that. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It wasn't hidden, and then he hooked up with Zelina. She kind of turned everything around. They were doing great stuff in NXT. I was excited when he came into, the main roster. But, it looks like we look.
Brian's out. It's all right. We go another 5 minutes, me and you.
Brian, he's like, I can't stand this. Andrade.
Yeah, he's on. He's like, once you start talking about Hispanic wrestlers,
I can't stand to hear you guys just praise these Mexicans. There it goes. It's Brian. He's like, I don't like y'all talking about.
So I don't understand why does Charlotte get drafted as well? She's technically injured, right? In kayfabe planet of the WWE universe.
That's what I was gonna say, because she went drafted and she hasn't been seen.
Come back, though.
Yeah,
it's like the Daniel Bryan pick for Raw.
That's true.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan hasn't been there.
So, but also, if you are a commissioner of Monday Night Raw or SmackDown, don't you waste like the last pick on Becky Lynch because you get it for even if she doesn't come back, it's a smart thing.
Apparently, injured players were not part of the pool.
A's drafted Kyle Moy, the quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals. Just waste that pick. Who cares, right? It's better than Titus O'Neil, isn't it?
People, they have to be in that pool. They have to be.
They have to be in the pool. Okay, that makes sense.
This is why you can't support your shitty ass WWE product. All right, like they already made it suck.
So,
it's already coming back to
just because a woman's pregnant. Just because a woman's pregnant, fine. I don't consider her injured, but we have different views on stuff, and I respect that.
Well, if you sign Becky Lynch to a 3-year deal, she might come back by then.
Yeah. I was about to say because if you hit her up and the superstar shakeup comes around, I don't know.
I really do.
That's a tight timetable.
I was a huge fan. I openly admit this, and I don't want to say this because I don't know if there's any women listening. I don't want to know I'm this big of a mark. But I've been watching some Becky Lynch promos, man. I miss the woman. Becky, I know you listen. If you're out there, man, send me a text. 310-345-2909.
Hear that, Becky? He wants you to name your first child after him. It's
Becky. I was going to say Becky Baca. But
Baca Lynch right there.
So now, if we're kayfabe booking, do we want Becky Lynch to have a son or a daughter?
I don't know, because you have to think about this. Like the dad is Rollins, so
yeah. So it's going to be a shitty person either way.
Trust me, I would love for Baca to be the father figure in this situation. I know he's not going to raise a rapper.
Yep. No rapping over here.
No ballers. Maybe Division I athlete, and maybe help him get that scholarship. You know what I'm saying? Get that foot into college.
If the daughter's going to be raised, to be Becky Lynch, then obviously that choice. Because I don't know if I want to.
Let's just make sure that
a little bit too slow right now.
Just make sure the child doesn't have Twitter, because we know how those two get. We just that's bad. I don't know, dude.
Listen, I hear what you guys are saying about how you feel like the draft needs to have stakes, but I've really been enjoying wrestling the last couple months, and let's just give it a good, hey, great job, WWE. Nothing wrong with saying, hey, good job once in a while.
Let me.
Hey, you did okay, WWE.
Was there do you think there was a reason why Otis wasn't eligible? Because he had the money in the bank?
I didn't even think about that. Because why didn't Otis get drafted?
Well, because I was thinking, why wouldn't Raw want that briefcase, or the one to move the briefcase, or I don't know, who knows? I mean, I don't know what the briefcase would benefit the show personally, aside from the person that's cashing it in. But I mean, that is an interesting take as well. They made it a point to split up him and Tucker.
Tucker's on Raw, right?
Yeah, Tucker's on Raw, but then Otis is on SmackDown, and then like everyone that Otis was beefing with is now on Raw too. So it's like, okay, like it.
And Tucker got drafted in the second round, correct?
Damn, before Sami Zayn.
Yeah,
are you serious? No,
95%.
Tucker didn't get drafted.
Yeah, he got drafted because Oh, well, you know what? Because it's because of what pool he's in. But he got drafted on Friday night, which was like the second round.
Oh.
So the more we talk about this, the more the draft doesn't make any sense, right? harder it is for me to defend.
I mean, he was drafted like after, like he was a WWE.com draft pick. There's no way he got drafted on TV, right?
No, I think I was probably a Talking Smack pick the next morning or something. Yeah, it had to be something like that. Because
imagine getting drafted on a show nobody watches, including yourself. Like you accidentally
like,
show up to the Thunderdome on the wrong night.
Dude, did you get interviewed? You're like, how's it feel knowing you got drafted to Raw? He's like, what? When? Like, what are you talking about? Oh yeah, they announced it on Main Event. I'm not on Main Event. I don't watch that show. Why would I know?
Imagine if Main Event was part of the draft, like, and they just picked Roman Reigns.
Oh shit! Imagine if Roman Reigns goes back to NXT. I mean, I don't know. There's nobody for him to beat because he's like
Andrade should just go to NXT.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I would love for him to just go back to NXT. I mean,
but everybody can't go back to NXT, and everybody can't. But
nobody is.
But yeah, I was gonna say
Ember Moon. That's
the interesting.
Well, Finn went back to NXT.
That was a year ago.
That was a year ago.
But you got did you hear that?
I think that's a huge move.
Kevin Owens was talked about being moved down there.
That'd be great. I really enjoy that.
If you remember,
if somebody doesn't watch NXT, I think that'd be great.
If you remember last year at War Games, he got picked as the mystery partner.
Yeah.
So I mean, it would have made sense around that time. You know what? Before we get out of here, bros, I just got one question to ask you. We actually talked about this a little bit on the Quincy Jones show yesterday, but AJ Styles was interviewed and he pretty much gave his take on WrestleMania, saying he doesn't feel like it's special anymore, just because they put so many damn matches on it. Like he feels like they put too much effort into including everybody on the card, where it's like, you know,
That's stupid. That's a stupid thing. How could you say WrestleMania is not special when they built an amusement park?
The last one wasn't that special, but that's not.
The last one wasn't special because it was a pandemic. 100%. Yeah. We can't. I know you guys hate to admit it, but we can't get mad at Fitzman for that one. But for you to say WrestleMania is not special, there's a whole week surrounded around it. They build these huge, elaborate stadiums.
But that's what it is now.
Arenas.
I mean,
not even arenas, stadiums. I gotta say it's not special. That's just him talking to his demographic.
Well, this is what he says. He says he just wished there wasn't so many matches. I mean, which is not.
What did he say? This on Twitch?
Yes.
Okay, that's his demographic. The guy that's in his mom's basement. Said, "Hey, AJ,
WWE, you forgot flat earthers as well."
Yeah.
But yeah, he just, you know, he says basically he says he doesn't feel like it's as big of a deal because if you're gonna go and give everybody a match, by the time you see the match that you want to see, you're gonna be burned out or ready to go home. Kids falling asleep. So these are people with kids he's talking to. So they had the
listen. There's not a lot of people that have kids that watch AJ Styles' Twitch feed. I'm telling you that right now.
They had to procreate somehow. You know what I mean? So I don't know. He's addressing his people.
That's stupid.
Let me ask you this.
But I agree that there's too many matches now. But my bad. Yeah. Go ahead, Brian.
I was gonna say there's so many matches that when you pull off AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura, and it's kind of disappointing. That's where WrestleMania is.
And that's WWE's fault because Shinsuke and AJ had a flat match?
No, they didn't have a flat match. They made them.
They had a match. At WrestleMania, they had a flat match.
They didn't have I think the crowd like had to play the part in it, and also the fact that it ended in a low blow was whack as fuck, dude.
That's right. I agree. That's right. But here's the fucking thing: if you don't have that much,
but I agree.
You guys are going to have your independent wrestling superstars that you're in love with, and then you're going to go. How can so-and-so be off WrestleMania? Okay, we'll put him on WrestleMania. Well, now it's too long. Okay, well, let's just take a Roman Reigns and Goldberg and Undertaker off WrestleMania then.
Well, see, we didn't say any of those people. I can.
So you guys got your internet darlings.
No. I can do without the
Nobody's
battle
fucking happy. And I'm
all
sick
the battle,
of it.
You're saying that you're like, oh, WrestleMania is such a spectacle. It's a whole week. Young Baca loves wrestling, and I can't wait for the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Oh, a women's Battle Royal too. Oh my God, it's so unnecessary, but I love it all because WrestleMania is the shit. Like, come on, dude. Like, there's some matches. You guys
get on the fucking internet and then you complain. So and so didn't get his WrestleMania check because they left him off the show. Wow. How could Vince McMahon do that? How could they not give Golick, whatever the fuck his name is, a match on WrestleMania and leave him without a WrestleMania check instead? Well, okay, let's put everyone in the Battle Royal so they all get a good check. Well, we don't want to see that. Then what the fuck do you want?
Baca, let me ask you this. You know what my problem
is?
If someone for a B-level pay-per-view booked the match I want to see, and they also said the matches also happen at WrestleMania, I would expect the B-level pay-per-view to have the better match. And there's too many times WrestleMania's booked matches that I was like, oh, I'm looking forward to that. And they disappointed. Shinsuke and AJ is one of them.
But why is that WWE's fault, though?
Oh, no, let me finish. The Usos, the New Day, and I think the Bludgeon Brothers were going to have a triple threat tag match, and it lasted 2 minutes or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm tired of matches being booked for WrestleMania that I'm looking forward to.
Oh, and let's not put them on WrestleMania. Let's not do it then. But then you guys can't complain. But how can they leave such and such off WrestleMania? That's crazy.
But see, there's another issue, and you just reminded me of that. Some people who do deserve to be on WrestleMania, they don't get as much time because you got all this other bullshit that takes time out of their shit, bro. But that's production issues, 100%. But the thing is,
I don't want to match of WrestleMania.
You have to admit that if they took off maybe 1 or 2 matches and made it maybe a solid 7 or 8,
you guys would go nuts if they left them off WrestleMania.
Dude, I would not.
If they got left off WrestleMania,
bro, where's the dog? Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you one question. Where's the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal trophy, and who has it right now? You don't know.
I don't know. I'm not interested in that at all.
No one gives a shit. No one gives a fuck if that match is not left off the card.
Let me ask you, Quincy. Do you think WrestleMania is too long?
I think for it to be 5 hours long, yeah.
Okay, I agree. It's
a lot longer.
And mind you,
I hear you. But if they left wrestlers off, you guys would go nuts.
Because Doc
would go crazy.
Doc
you don't want short matches, but you don't want them to be like off WrestleMania. But now it's too long. What are we doing? What are we doing? Let's just not have wrestling no more. Right? If I was Vince McMahon, one day I might wake up and say, fuck these guys. Let's not do it no more. Because it's not worth it, right? You just said
that would be the better option.
You just said
that would be the option, bro.
I'm sick of short matches. WrestleMania's too long, but how could they leave these guys off WrestleMania?
I never said nothing about you. Said people leaving people off WrestleMania. I don't.
You guys would go nuts.
Not everybody deserves to be on WrestleMania.
If Drew Gulak was off WrestleMania,
I wouldn't give 2 shits. I wouldn't give a shit about that. I wouldn't give a shit about the 24/7 championship. There's some things that don't need to be on the card. I would gladly swap out matches for moments. If fucking Shawn Michaels wanted to super kick somebody out, yeah, I'll leave that in. Because I'm biased as fuck when it comes to him.
Guys would go nuts.
No, I wouldn't. No.
You guys would. If Drew Gulak wasn't on, just using that as a example, if he was on WrestleMania and he went on his Twitch stream,
I can't help the fact if
Twitch stream and said, "Hey,
if MVP didn't show, I can't help.
I'm not getting a big check this year because I wasn't on WrestleMania." Everybody would say, "How do you leave a technical wrestler like Drew Gulak off WrestleMania?"
No one says that, but no one
but you guys are fucking saying push Naomi when she's not that charismatic. It's not that great of a wrestler.
What are you talking about?
She's not that good. But I'm saying though, if Naomi was off WrestleMania, everyone would go fucking nuts. But then you also say this the match is too short, but it's too much people.
Those are 2 different people. Those are way 2 different cases.
Okay, if Naomi was off WrestleMania, you guys would go nuts, correct?
I wouldn't. Me personally, no. Okay. Not me personally.
I support black women.
But I will 100% agree with you that there'd be probably a huge outcry about it. Yes, but
then matches are too long. But then
matches are too long.
Matches are too short.
No.
This one's too long.
But
this one's too short. But then Edge and Randy Orton's too long.
Matches are too short. Matches are too short because there's too much going on where it goes.
But then Edge and Randy Orton is too long.
It was 100%. It was 45 minutes, bro. 45 minutes. That was a 45
having a 30-minute match at WrestleMania is too long.
Yeah, bro. I hear. So do you suggest that they go to 2 nights?
If they insist on having this much stuff,
but they have to, or else you guys would go riot in the streets.
No, they won't.
You guys would go loot.
No, they don't.
Wrestling fans don't leave their mom's basement.
You want to know why I know that it wouldn't be that way? It's because it didn't used to be this way, and it worked.
But before we never had
all this shit, like WrestleMania was for the who's who and special attractions.
I agree. I'm cool with that.
But like, and if it was reserved to that, then I think that's where it's at. But now it feels like it's a chore for them to try to put together this WrestleMania.
But now we have the internet, where 3 motherfuckers that don't know much get a jump on a podcast and say this is like this, this is like this.
No, not us. We know everything.
No, I know. But it's before we never had where AJ could complain on Twitch about WrestleMania's not special, and then Drew Gulak could say, "Hey, I didn't get a WrestleMania check this year, so it's bullshit." And then Naomi could say, "Push Naomi." We never had internet before, so we just enjoyed the wrestling.
Let me ask
we didn't know all the backstage politics. We just enjoyed the wrestling. That must have been a great time. Imagine just enjoying the show without the backstage bullshit. That must have been amazing, right? WrestleMania 3, you don't know what's going to happen. It must have been so much fun.
If we're in February and March though, and Naomi's not in any storylines, then I don't expect her to be on fucking WrestleMania. So who gives
100%. But I just watched a stupid video today that had talked about why doesn't Naomi get a chance by 3 losers that live in a mom's basement in England.
Was it Wrestle Talk? I bet it was Wrestle Talk. Because I mean,
I love Wrestle Talk.
So they had an accent. Obviously, he's attacking a whole. No, I don't understand.
I love Wrestle Talk. I love those guys.
Wrestle Talk is what keeps me into wrestling. Because if it was just the wrestling, I wouldn't be fucking.
But you can see there's a clear bias. There's on Wrestle Talk. There's just a clear bias for AEW. We can all agree on that, right?
I don't watch it enough, but my brother watches.
To be honest with you, I don't think so. I think they just think WWE
sucks.
Fucking
liar, Brian. You don't think there's a bias for AEW?
The WWE just sucks. If WWE was better, there wouldn't be a bias.
You're crazy, man. There's a clear bias for AEW.
There's people that have admitted on Wrestle Talk that takeovers are usually better than the pay-per-views on AEW.
Listen,
it's
if
just
you don't say there's a bias for AEW on Wrestle Talk, then you're lying to yourself.
How's there a bias if WWE sucks, dude? Have a better program.
Do you think NXT sucks?
It's not as good because their top champion right now is Damian Priest.
Okay, so
yeah, technically
they always review AEW, but they never review NXT.
NXT actually has its own hour-long podcast. You just don't find it.
That's all I'm asking you. I'm talking about the
He's
news.
looking for video evidence.
No, I'm talking about the news. I'm talking about the main video they put out every Thursday morning, and they review AEW instead of NXT. And AEW always gets a 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5. This was great. It was so good to see Chris Jericho pass around his glass of bubbly to everyone to get everyone infected with corona. If Roman Reigns if Vince McMahon did a concert where 20,000 people spread coronavirus, Wrestle Talk would be all over. But because it's Chris Jericho, never talk about it. They'll make it a big deal. Right?
They gave him a hard time. They just had a podcast today actually about how AEW is becoming WWE and they don't like it.
It's not becoming WWE.
Yeah, I mean, look.
You guys are nuts if you think that.
Well, I mean, you have to also put in the fact that you got Vince over here trying to put a full capacity show.
No, Vince said no. Vince said no.
I don't know. Jericho did get a lot of shit his
no, he didn't. On Wrestle Talk, he didn't. They fucking let that shit slide.
You just can't watch
they would have been all over him.
They're just
it's the same thing. Look, I understand. That's their demographic. I understand. That's their demographic. I hear you. Their demographic is the guys that have Cheeto puff stains on their hands that goggle over Naomi when she comes down the ramp and she does that little slide, which I'm a big fan of as well. But it's just like CNN and MSNBC and Fox News. They know their demographic and they know who to cater to. That's fine. But let's not say there's not a bias towards WWE unless.
I mean, well, I know there's not a bias on the Flow Show.
No bias on the Flow Show.
Screw these guys giving them airtime.
I'm a big AEW guy. I love Cody Rhodes. I have 5 Cody Rhodes T-shirts, man. I have 5 Cody Rhodes T-shirts. I love it. But let's not act like there's not a bias. There's clearly a bias, and that's what I get upset about. That's what I get upset about in news coverage, media coverage, wrestling, hip-hop. Let's not say there's not a bias. At least let's admit it.
But Baca, there's an equal bias on the other side too, and I see.
No, there's not. Not.
Baca, I see.
No, there's not.
Baca, I'm in these chat rooms, bro. I'm in 20 fucking groups, bro. I posted this shit.
I hear you, and I respect that. And I respect the work that you're doing.
I see this shit all the time. I see people that are the same way, but except they're the same person except reverse, bro. There's people who but look, they just wait. They're the same guy. They wait for that little trickle down, and so they can jump on it and talk shit about it. It's so toxic.
There's two prominent
I've hated
IG accounts that are anti-AEW.
Know.
There's Hilton and this guy, my guy, Billion, this Smarks, our BX, Bronx, that's my homie. We be chatting up all the time about the fucking losers I watch AEW. I love that guy. Bro, and we at the Flow Show are officially going to co-sign you, my guy. And I want you to come on the show so we can talk about it.
I don't know if I could co-sign that.
I co-sign you.
You know why?
This box over here co-signs you.
I don't like the constant fucking bro. Like
that's how it is with AEW fans, though.
No, but it's the same thing with WWE fans too, bro.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Baca,
okay, so let's say the ratio. The ratio could be 10-1. That's what it is.
I'm talking. Let me. I'm talking. You don't know you don't know more than I know about this subject.
You're right. I don't. I'll admit you right now.
I see it. I see this shit all the time. It's the same on both sides. I'm saying it's toxic overall. You can't say that it's not out there because I have my own accounts that I follow that are just the same.
I respect that. I respect
if not worse than.
But can you tell me that the ratio is equal?
I could definitely tell you that because
come on, Quincy. No, you can't.
Yeah, definitely, because the moment that this war started, people picked sides and made people feel like a fucking asshole for doing so. If you didn't go to WWE, you couldn't be a guy. There's a small group of us, bro, that watch both and contradict both and still like to watch both. But you can't have that conversation too loud because then these other people come in and they start fucking, they do what you're doing right now. You know what I mean? We can't.
I feel like I'm the hardest on AEW in this out of all of us.
I don't think so at all.
I come on the show and shit talk Cody Rhodes.
I love those guys.
You don't love those guys. You love Cody. You don't love all of them.
I love Cody. Dude, I love Cody. Cody's my spilled animal. I love Cody. I love the Young Bucks. I have every stupid Young Buck t-shirt. I have Young Bucks pajama bottoms. I have everything. I love the Young Bucks. Because I love that they're going to, hey, we're going to go against the grain, we're going to do our own thing, we're going to make it independent. I love that. I love Cody. And I really, really do. But I'm frustrated because the bias that is shown towards the wrestling community, towards WWE. Everything that Vince McMahon breathes wrong, everyone jumps on him. But Chris Jericho spreads coronavirus faster than Young Baca, and everyone gives him a pass.
No one, I've never seen anyone give him a pass for that. That's 100%. What I'm saying.
Listen.
I've seen people tweet at him directly, talking mad shit. I see this stuff all the time. People calling it, they redo the song instead of "I'm becoming Judas." They say "I'm spreading COVID." I see these memes, bro. Like it's out there. People are talking mad shit about that incident in particular. Jericho has had to block people. Like it's out there. So and I know that's only one example.
And there's people wishing death on Vince McMahon. There's people telling Vince McMahon.
But that was before AEW. That was before AEW, though.
That's fine. I'm just saying, everyone has to cross the barrel. How do you think I feel? Just being a good-looking guy, women send me inappropriate messages and stuff, man.
You've been cursed. I understand, man.
I want to apologize to you, Quincy. I haven't had it. I want to apologize, Quincy. So I want to apologize, Quincy, because I haven't had a drink in 20 days, and I think I'm taking that on you. So I apologize.
I thought you were supposed to be taking shots for the Laker parade, man.
No, man, no. I'm giving away shots. If somebody was Lakers,
you're giving away shots.
I'm giving a free shot. They get a free shot. They have a Lakers game.
Well, somebody got to buy you a shot too, dude.
Nah, man. I'm good on that. I haven't drank in 20 days, but I'm going hard on these fucking Red Bulls.
Oh, that's what it is. That's what it is. See, he's trying to get that trying to get that deal, that sponsorship. I see you.
And
Joe Biden, will you shut up, man?
Shut up, man. That was great, dude. That was great. I just wish Joe Biden didn't have Alzheimer's and would be set. Go ahead.
I'll be honest with you. If NXT had the Full Sail crowd, I'd prefer an NXT show over anything that Dynamite's pulling off. I'll be honest with you.
I like their new setup, but it is kind of weird that they have like people grouped up in like a cage setting. I was like, you know,
right. So sometimes I feel like they're trying way too hard to be a little grungy.
Yeah. It's like the dungeon of like, you know, it's like basically like the pit where everyone just goes to fight and they fight to the death and everyone's just like, yeah. And I like the feel. I like their new stage too. I like their new staging as well. So, but yeah, I mean,
I think I naturally prefer NXT. It's just NXT's had a tough time with all the injuries, and that's why AEW is a little easier to watch. But I'll be honest with you, I watch WWE products more than I watch AEW.
I got a hot take for you right here, Baca. You ready? Yeah, I know you're not ready to hear this.
Your hot take is I used to have the same arguments with Brian about LeBron James, and now I'm legitimately considering getting a LeBron James tattoo. I have a standing tattoo every Tuesday. Every Tuesday at 6 p.m. I have a tattoo appointment. I got my grateful tattoo the other day. Every Tuesday at 6 p.m. I get a tattoo, and I don't really decide what I'm going to get until I'm over there.
I'm going to find those audio files.
I'm not saying I am. I got my Kobe tattoo the other day, but I'm really considering getting a LeBron James tattoo because I'm so legitimately happy
Let's get a Taco Tuesday. Taco Tuesday. LeBron James tattoo.
I'm legit. I'm getting the Lakers trophy, the Larry O'Brien trophy.
Yeah.
Instead of the ball on top is going to be a Lakers logo, and I might add a little number 23 right there because I'm so legit.
You hear the one? You see the one Snoop got?
Must be.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, that was really cool.
But hey, you guys got Lou, man. You got Tyronn Lue. It's going to be tough for him to win the championship without LeBron James, but look.
Tyronn Lue. I mean, yeah.
I like. Let's not talk about the Clippers, man. I don't want to be depressed.
What was your hot take before I cut you off?
No, my hot take was that I actually enjoyed NXT way better than AEW this week, and that was their anniversary show, and I thought it was not that good, to be honest.
Now, did you think it's not that good because they live up to expectations, or was it a flat show?
I think there were certain things I wouldn't have booked. There were certain segment the Young Bucks stuff is still it's just whatever to me because it's just I get what they're doing, but it seems like they keep forcing that shit. I wasn't a fan of how they did.
How many special dynamites can you have though, too?
Yeah, you know what I mean. I don't know, man. I wasn't mad at all the championships being put on the line, but some of the matches didn't feel special. And like you say, it's not always going to be Brett versus Owen. And I take that to heart now every time. But some stuff, yeah, I could have done without. It was just something about NXT. I felt like they there was more takeaways. Like you had Jake Atlas, finding himself some new friends, and Ashanti, the Adonis, and Swerve, and you had some development going on with the UE becoming new number one contendership, and they brought back the spin the wheel, make the deal thing with the Halloween Havoc. I felt like there was more developments, more and more takeaways from NXT that I enjoyed. And it, sometimes they just do a little bit too much backstage stuff in my taste for AEW. Like we knew him and Moxley and Archer was going to be like a war, but I don't know. It was just like all the brawling stuff before the match. I'm like, dude, we could have just keep up the anticipation up until the match. You know what I mean? I get it, but I don't know. It's just some stuff, like I said, I feel like they could have produced differently or done without. I personally.
But that's not how Wrestler Talk. That's not how Wrestler Talk calls it. Wrestler Talk gave it a 5 out of 5 this week. So
I wouldn't have gave it a 5 out of 5. I give it 3.5 out of 5. If that's like the if I was
being
nice, I'd give it 3. If I'm being honest, I'd give it 3. If I'm being nice, I give it 3.5. I personally was not a fan of. First of all, I have nothing against Orange Cassidy, but they need to do something else with him, and they need to start pushing out.
I said this maybe on the second episode of this podcast. I love Orange Cassidy. I have an Orange Cassidy T-shirt that I haven't worn outside yet because it's kind of hard for me to explain.
It really is.
And it's really tough.
Is it the thumbs up?
No, it's the one that has his face. It just has his face on it.
You're like, who is that guy?
Yeah, that one's tough to explain. I just got this 25-year-old white man on my shirt.
No, that one's tough to explain. No lie, because if it was Stone Cold, no one would have to even.
100%.
Yeah.
But I said, what are you going to do with Orange Cassidy? You can't just keep doing the same moniker for the next.
Bro, I mean, his character's established, but it's like he's already done. He had a little dance with Jericho for a little bit, which made him. But they don't need him to do the same thing with Cody right now. And the fact that the match went down to a draw, and then they're going to award him another match. I'm like, bro, that's 3 TNT championship freaking opportunities in 3 weeks, bro. Like, we need more. Like, put someone else on. Put somebody else. Instead, you got Shawn Spears mixing it up, trying to be in the feud with Scorpio Sky, which I'm not mad at because I want them to do something with both those guys. But I didn't want them to do it, you know what I mean? Like, be involved in the rivalry together. Like, both those guys could have been, instead of Joey Janela and Pentagon, they could have been added to the tournament. But, I can't write I don't write as good as Brian Andrews, So.
Yep. So I've had a great time today, guys, man. I'm sorry to take my withdrawals out on you guys, but I
went to go pee real quick.
I was like, I'm like, I guess Xavier has something to say. No, I definitely had fun with you guys, man. I know you gotta head out soon, Mr. Baca, busy man. But let the people know what event you got popping, man. Because I think you got one coming up every weekend.
All the time, man. Every Saturday, East LA. This Saturday, I know it's going to be posted after it, but I want to say it anyways. We have 30 comedians, 30 comedians performing, and then we got 12 artists performing afterwards, man. Free Halloween party. If you will Lakers gear, we give you a free shot. It's going to be a good time. And then next week, we have our actual Halloween party, $100 for the best costume. Quincy Jones is going to perform. I'm breaking the hair right now. I haven't confirmed it with him, but I'm going to make sure that happens. And if he gets strong style and profiling,
Quincy does not want to get COVID, man.
That'd be great, man.
Well, the thing is I was going to go. I was trying to win that $100. I got a costume you're going to love.
All right, don't tell me because I don't want no favoritism.
Well, you already know it's wrestling related. I mean, I told you that much. So.
If we could if we get strong style and perform, that'll make my whole year.
It's not my song, so
I know.
Really can't.
I know, but you're close to the guy. Make it happen. Ben the speech every Sunday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. And we're giving $2,000 cash away to the best MC and doing cool stuff. But most importantly, is the 6th annual Baca Foundation Thanksgiving Drive. Over the last 6 years, we've had over 70 families. Yeah. This year, we're trying to push that mark past 100, which means we need to feed 30 families. It's $70 a family. You do the math because I can't. So we need some help, man. We need some donations. If you've been on the stage, wrap it how much money you got. I need you to donate $1, and we're going to make it happen, man. We're going to feed some families, especially in 2020. People need it.
Is there anything else they can do to help? I mean, I know obviously donations. Can anybody send food, or what do you got? Are you guys accepting food? Or
I'm sorry, man. I think you just froze it. We're not taking food this year because of COVID. We want to keep everyone safe. But if you can share the flyer, that's all we need. I just need people to share the flyer. That's it. And if you know a family just needs some help this year, we'll drop off some food 2 days before Thanksgiving. No pictures, no signatures, nothing like that. We'll drop off a box of food and be on our merry way.
There we go, man. And we're probably I'm gonna put it up in the in my story as well as the Flow
do it
podcast story. Let's get it popping, man. Yeah, share
That'd
that.
Be great.
Do something nice for somebody this year, man. It's already been a hell of a year, but do something nice like us doing something nice for the wrestling community. Now we pissed off all the neckbeards in the basement. That's what we do. You know what I mean? We'll send you guys the bill. That's what we do on a daily. This has been the Flow Show for the love of wrestling. I thank you guys, Young Baca, Brian Andrews, Quincy Jones Go. And on that note, we'll see you guys next week. Hopefully, maybe we'll see Mac Low. I don't know.
Let's do it. Mac Low. Let's get Mac Low up here.
We could co-sign him on there. How about that? All three blocks.
Follow the awkward side hug.
Yeah, and follow the side hug. Definitely follow.
I want to be on the awkward side hug, and I want to talk about. I want you to walk me down how you felt. Game 1, you guys destroy Utah. Game 2, you guys destroy Utah. Game 3, you guys destroy Utah, and then it's just downhill. I that's great content. Let's just break it down how you felt.
It would be even better content if you knew that we played the Nuggets, you idiot.
I'm sorry. Right, I'm sorry. I would like to hear how that went, man.
And that's why it's a sport of love of wrestling, not for the love of basketball. That's it.
Yeah. But really quick, there's the podcast. Dax Shepard, he has a podcast. He relapsed after 16 years, and he spends 45 minutes breaking down what happened. And it's a really interesting podcast. I want to do that with Brian Andrew. Just walk us down those 7 games, man. When did you know it was over, Brian Andrew?
Game 5.
No, you didn't. Seriously?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't believe that.
It's happened before. It's the Clippers curse. It was Game 5. You know why it's Game 5? I was already thinking about, I haven't posted about the Clippers in a long time. We're going to post, we finally got past the second round. And then as I was thinking it, our lead started dropping. And then I was like, okay, fine, I'll give it till Game 6. But this looks like it's happening.
Feeling a little familiar,
and then Game 6 happened. I was like, oh, we're going to lose the series. It doesn't matter what happened in Game 7. We were up by 3, and Reggie Jackson bricked a 3 in the third quarter. And I was like, we lost the game.
What about the one with Paul George? He hit the ball off you know how hard it is to hit the ball off the side of the backboard? Not the backboard, the side of the backboard. That's pretty difficult, man. Especially getting paid all that money.
What? I mean, must be nice that you saw 6 championships in your life.
It's so good. Honestly, it seems like a long time. Now, if the Yankees get it together, that'd be great.
Do you just choose teams that have won championships, or did you actually?
No.
Growing up.
10 years old, I watched the Yankees versus the Mariners, and I became a Yankees fan in the World Series. Same reason I became a Baltimore Ravens fan.
Was Ken Griffey part of that game?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was about to ask you that. We got JP Uner on that team. What's up?
No, not the Marlins, not the Mariners.
The Marlins.
If you watch the Ken Griffey game and you walk away rooting for
that's what I was about to ask, bro.
No, those guys.
I was like, they must have been on that day.
The Mariners never made it to a World Series before, man.
No, not at all.
So, and the problem is with Baltimore Ravens, we have a once-in-a-generation quarterback, but he's the second best in generation. So I think Patrick Mahomes is going to win the league for 10 years. But I'm just enjoying my Lakers championship right now.
Bro,
I'm going to get my LeBron James tattoo this Tuesday, so I'm excited.
I'm going to find those audio files of you legitimately hating the guy, you wanting to hurt the guy. You were pissed. You saw him win that. You saw him come back 3-1.
That was tough. That was tough to watch. But now, LeBron James the best friends now. So.
You were one of those fans throwing paper in the ring when Hulk Hogan joined the NWO. I think
I would have been a little mad. If I was born in that time and I looked up to Hulk Hogan, take your vitamins, eat your prayers, cuss out black
What would be
people.
worse, him joining NWO or him coming out
NWA.
saying racial slurs?
Well, or the end standing.
What would be more stab in the back?
Well, I think the biggest stab in the back is Ice Cube jumping sides. So
we ain't gonna talk about that.
You saw that.
That's where we end the show. We don't get political anymore, damn it. But definitely, I love getting together with you guys. Definitely,
Vote
honestly,
for Gavin Newsom when he runs for re-election at some point.
yeah,
he's seek on the low, doing a little campaign trail. But you need to run against him. He's up.
Listen, I got
when
some
Gavin
people,
Newsom runs for president someday, I want y'all to vote.
The man of the
I got some
people,
people in place right now. I
the
got
people's
some people
champion,
in place right now.
the American dream. See, like your promos. I mean,
The ball hip hop, baby.
Bro, we could just film your promos on some wrestling shit.
Listen, that's all I do, man.
Baca's gonna be saying that WWE draft was okay, and people are gonna start voting for the other guy.
They're gonna in a landslide.
We can't trust this guy's decision making.
He's gonna be he's gonna be putting fake AEW voting ballots in the middle of California.
All right, guys.
Like, I don't want people voting for me who live in their mother's basement.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure there's no rent that has to be paid in those basements, and then you're good, man.
It's crazy. I'm just legitimately. Nobody's ever happy with wrestling. That's the thing. Nobody's ever happy.
That's part of the toxic. I mean, yeah, no, and you know what? I agree with you, Baca. I didn't get a chance to say that before we sign off here. You're right. There wasn't an internet, so people were fucking happy with whatever WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Was. But I mean, I like even you look at a WrestleMania 17. That's probably one of the last times I was like, I mean, next to maybe 20, 25. Yeah, we gotta. I don't know. Maybe just a little.
The thing is, I don't really have an issue with bad wrestling. I have an issue with wrestling that's very stagnant and boring, and I feel like that's what it's been. And then so maybe I say it's bad, but really I'm saying it's boring. Like I don't mind if it's bad sometimes.
I mean, because we obviously keep watching.
Then don't watch Orange Cassidy versus Cody Rhodes next week for the third time.
I won't.
I'm tired of that too.
I'm really hoping somebody's gonna run out and try to beat them both up. I don't know, but. On that note, American Dream, Brian Andrews, and myself. I guess see you guys next week.
Be out of here, man. Later.
See you.
Later.